Hello, boys and girls of all ages. This is your host today, Lonely Man Studios. Welcome back to Hero Rise of Prodigy, Chapter 14, On to Others. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'm going to show the stats real quick. As of the last chapter, with everything that happened, a lot of stuff did go down that was kind of sick, twisted, fun times, right? It was a whole bunch of posh of goodies. A lot of touching of goodies. And revealing some darker secrets I didn't want to know about those goodies. So, with that in mind, we're at a perfect 100 out of 100 for power and health. I know that can be higher because I've had it higher before because of legend, but for some reason it never got bumped back up. Family's doing great. Victims, I don't give a damn, even though one of them's the mayor and could possibly hire to kill me. My sidekick, Tirana Rain, she's doing pretty good. Black Magic, well, after last chapter, that one went way up. It went up by like, what, 42%? Somewhere around there. It was a huge jump. And the Millennial group's up. So, without further ado, let's start reading. As you fly through your bedroom window, you still have trouble processing what just happened. The sight of black magic in that tiny room remains burned in your brain, no matter how hard you try to force it out. How are you supposed to? Is everything sorted with the Millennial group? A voice asks you as you land, causing your heart to skip several beats. Luckily, it's just Jenny, waiting for you with her arms crossed. Fine, you say. False alarm. You speak a little too abruptly, causing Jenny to narrow her eyes at you. She wants to press for more details, but you just send her a look. Drop it. Alright then, Jenny says, sounding annoyed. When I couldn't get a hold of you, Tirana Rain told me what happened. This whole pool killer thing is quite the development. I'm not sure what the connection is between Prodigy and the Splice Circle just yet. You probably should tell Jenny about Prodigy sending black magic your way on the static case, but you don't have the energy to explain the situation right now. Thankfully, Jenny just keeps talking already in a mission control mode. Okay. I did, however, look up the origin of those machines, Jenny says, pointing toward your bed. Where? A dormant pool killer rests? What? Oh my goodness. You jump back at the sight of it. How'd you... Oh, come off it. You know how resourceful I can be, Jenny says. Anyway, the design features match the basic profile of a large array of illegal weapons that have recently flooded the market. The MCPD knows they come from one source. They come from one source. Alright, but no one has figured out what that source is just yet. Maybe the weapon source. What was the weapon source? Maybe this was part of the Smiler's plan for expansion. Perhaps there's someone out there who's applying Madame Vice and they're both trying to frame Podule by placing her name on the warehouse deed, you know, as retribution for her attack on Smither. That's all well and good, Jenny starts, but it still doesn't explain why Podule seems to have taken an interest in you, which is using me as a pawn to take down the Splicer. Well, I definitely think Prodigy. Though I have no idea. I think she was just using me as a pawn, honestly. If that is indeed the case, now the Splice Circle has collapsed, Prodigy is bound to leave you alone, so that doesn't mean you're about to let her get away with everything she has done. Jenny pauses, pinching her elbows, which you know means she's about to bring up something uncomfortable. And why was the warehouse named the Artillery? Named the Artillery has to be a coincidence. Could it be connected to my parents somehow? Screw it. Jenny just works on her elbow, not answering. You start to think it through. How could anyone know your connection to Miss Artillery? It's too obscure. Someone would have to have known not only your secret Sterling identity, but also the PFPP cover-up of your sashimi identity as well. And even after all that, they would have to make sure you received the right tip-off to break into the warehouse. That all seems too elaborate and far-fetched to be true. Besides, the Artillery is a very predictable name for a weapons company. The connection must be negligible, but even if that is the case, you still need to make finding Prodigy a priority. Does this give us any leads on finding Prodigy, you ask? Yes and no. If Prodigy is involved in the Artillery, we could find a way to make a false transaction and hope it leads to her. But that will require some deeply unpleasant undercover work. Sounds like a good place to start, you say. Habibi, there's something else, Jenny starts, taking a deep breath. Now I need you to stay calm once I tell you this. Promise me you won't do anything rash. Why don't you tell me before I make any promises? Do you know me at all? Do you know me at all? Come on now. Screw it. Sure. Nah, do you know me at all? Jenny gives you a menacing look but keeps talking. The thing that attacked you was called the Wisp. He's a well-known contract killer. I know you probably just assumed he was there to protect the warehouse, but he followed me there to kill me? You finished stunned? Was the Wisp waiting there for me in the first place? Was it a trap? Do we have any idea who hired him? How long? Hold on. Let me finish, Jenny says, holding up. Fucking victims. I swear to God. I don't know how or when he tracked you down, but I did some digging and managed to find out who hired him. Jenny just looks at the floor and works over her elbows, clearly not wanting to deliver whatever news she has. Well, who was it? Was it the Supply Circle? Rex fought Schillers? Is Smither back? Was it no Habididi? Jen says it was Jury. I knew it! The little prick. The name rings in your ears, causing a cold rage to spill through you. Jury did this? You knew he'd be out for revenge, but trying to have you killed? Could he really be that ruthless or that bold to think he'd get away with it? Then you think about what his father did to you and your family, and you have your answer. Are you sure? You ask Jenny, your whole body beginning to quake. He tried to make a untraceable payment, but it didn't work. The MCBD tracked the deposit back to a hidden account linked to Jury's ME chip. Jenny, it looks like she wants to say more, but you don't let her. Because you already know exactly what you're going to do about Jury. Get revenge? I'll leak the story and press the ruin to the victim family. I'll do to them exactly what they did to me. Rise above. I won't allow the victims to turn me into a kind of monster there. Plus, it's smart to keep the information as a bargaining chip. Hell yeah. You're not about to compromise your moral standards for anyone, especially not scum like Jury. But that doesn't mean you can't use this position to your advantage. I know that look, Jenny says. What are you planning? Just trust me, you say, turning to leave. Later that night, I die horribly in a back alley. You make sure to be late to your meeting with Jury, letting him sweat it out in the ring square for a while. The pretty rich boy definitely won't be used to hanging out in derelict parks. Plus, his power to see through multiple perspectives will only worsen his nerves, considering he'll be able to see exactly how many eyes are on him. Once you see a droplet of sweat begin to run down Jury's forehead, you decide it's time to fly down to face him. There you are, cutie, Jury says, flicking a half-finished cigarette into the nearby bushes. Let's get one thing straight from the start. I didn't hire that Wisp weirdo to kill you. Right, of course you didn't, you start. Except that the MCB already traced the Wisp payment to one of your hidden accounts. A transaction they have since discovered was not cleared by me, considering my account was hacked yesterday morning, Jury says, reveling in the doubt that crosses your face. Looks like someone out there wanted to take you out and set me up for the fall. Your mind only begins to race. Could Jury be telling the truth? Maybe. That's a bit of a stretch, you say. You immediately think of Prodigy and the Supply Circle and believe what you want, Jury says. It doesn't matter to me. Well, it should. Just because I haven't told the press yet doesn't mean that I won't. Watch it, dunce, Jury says. Blackmail doesn't look so good on you. Please tell me this pathetic little showing isn't the reason you called me here. No, you say, gearing up. You did call Jury here for a reason. You have one last play to make. I'm going to resign from the Millennial Group Reserve so we can call. Going to give me the Millennial. I don't know about that. Why did it go up by 10%? That son of a biscuit. You're going to give me the Millennial. Oh, I'm going in. Bam! Didn't go over so well. You always want the spot and you'll do anything to get it. This is a perfect opportunity to eliminate the competition and leverage your way onto the Millennial Group. Whether he has really tried to have you killed or not, Jury owes you for not going to the press with the story. And if he doesn't see it that way, you're more than happy to show him exactly how blackmail really looks like on you. You haven't checked your messages lately, have you? Jury sneers. You glance down your ME chip and sure enough, Julie has a message for you. As you open it, Rebellion appears in front of your holographic form. After careful consideration, Rebellion starts. The Millennial Group has decided the jury will be a great fit for our community of heroes. However, I'm negotiating now with Human Resources on the possibility of adding another reserve member because I really believe you deserve another shot at being part of the Millennial Group. Dunce. I'll be in touch soon. Father paid him off, huh? Without another word, the message finishes and Rebellion disappears. Your heart sinks. Jury will be getting the reserve spot even after all you've done to prove yourself to the Millennial Group. There doesn't appear to have been anything more you could have done, though, and maybe you'll still have a shot at joining later. Yep, that spot was always mine, Jerry says. Why on earth would the Millennial Group pass up a direct line to City Hall and maybe even the White House someday? Rexford Schillers was also quite happy to back my bid with a hefty donation to the group. What did you think? They'd choose some no-name loser over me with everything that I have to offer? Come on now. I thought you were brighter than that. Your mind flashes white with anger. Jury tried to kill you. He doesn't even get punished for it. Instead, he's not only getting exonerated, he gets rewarded with a Millennial Group membership. Does this really work that differently for the privileged? Whatever you think, curling up your fish, you're going to create your own privilege. Just leave. Best of luck, you say, taking off into the sky. I'm sure everyone will get to see your true colors very soon. You fly back toward home once again, feeling completely worn out. Despite that ever-growing list of problems piling up in front of you, all you can currently think about is paying next month's rent. Now that the possibility of the Millennial Group's membership is put on hold, how are you going to make money? I'll find more heroic cases. Whatever your next move is, you know you need to focus on one thing, finding Prodigy. But right now, all you're going to do is get some much-needed sleep. Or at least that's what you hope to be doing until you find another surprise visitor waiting for you on your roof. Sonia. Blade. You don't have any time for pleasantries, however, especially because if Sonia is standing on your roof, that means she must have figured out your secret identity. What the slug are you doing here, Sonia? Don't worry, I'm not in business of outing heroes, Sonia says, almost as if she's reading her mind. I'm in the business of making stars, though it really is far too easy to track you down. I set up some illusion hollows and anti-trace chimes around your building if I were you. What are you talking about? You ask warily. So that villains and fans can't follow you home to learn your identity? All eyes will be on you whether you like it or not? I'm about to make you very famous, Dunce. Excuse me? You better thank me, Sonia says, cracking a rare smile, because that article I've been writing about you just got approved. It's about to name you Millennia's City Hero of Tomorrow. Whoa. Your mouth falls open. That's not possible. The Hot Grant? The same award that launched the careers of Rebellion, the Diva, and Black Magic, and all the rest of MC's biggest heroes. There's no way Sonia could be that reporter chosen to write the hot article. There's just no way. I've already forwarded the hot profile to your ME chip. Check it out if you don't believe me, Sonia says, flashes a quick mental photo of you. That's great. The dumbstruck look will be perfect for the cover shot. You're currently unable to form any coherent thoughts, but luckily ME Chip Jew is a few steps ahead of you. She appears with a copy of the article. We're finally going to be legends, Jew whispers, wiping at her tear-soaked cheeks. You staggered backward on the roof, trying desperately to catch your breath. Your life is never going to be the same because this is it. You've made it. And with that, I'm going to cut this one off because that was the end of Chapter 14, going to Chapter 15. Hope you enjoyed. There are the stats. And see you in the next one. That really ended very quickly. I was surprised.